Hello and welcome to 3 life-saving knots that you should know. We will be starting off with this rope right here. It's called polypropylene and it is reflective and it floats. This is the same stuff but it does not reflect, found at a lake. This stuff right here was $8 at Menards and it's really cheap and inexpensive. 100 foot. You can cut it with pretty much anything, knife, scissors. It doesn't matter. Let's find the end here and get some of it off. We're going to need about 3 feet. So we'll just unwrap a bit of it and then we're going to measure it with our hands like so. And just it doesn't have to be 3 feet. It could be any length, but 3 feet for use of purposes. And as you can see, this end is already starting to fray. So we're going to melt that and we're going to roll it in our hands. I would suggest to use a glove or just bump it against the table after heating it up with the lighter, and just get that tip nice and even out. I'm used to the heat, so I do it without gloves. But you definitely don't want to get this plastic. It's pretty much plastic, molten plastic, on your fingers first day. So I also cut off a 3-foot strand of the red. And we're gonna use the red, the thicker stuff, for the starting because it's usually easier to work with a medium thickness rope such as this. And I'm going to show you the incorrect way to tie a square knot and then the correct way to tie the square knot will be second. So this is the incorrect way. I'm using the same right strand each time, but it's actually a different strand. And we get a double granny knot in essence. That is not a square knot. So let's see, right over left and left over right is actually the correct method. And we'll take a closer look at this right here. Basically, it should look like that, and it should be able to come apart fairly easily. Because if a knot cannot come apart, then you're gonna have a problem if you're trying to work with that rope. So let's see here. I'll demonstrate it a couple more times. Right over left and left over right through that loop and pull them together. And now you have your square knot, and that just comes apart really simply. You can use that to tie 2 of the same thickness rope together, but be warned that you have to be constantly applying pressure. If you let go of pressure at all, it is gonna start slipping. And that's what this next knot is for. It can be used with the same thickness of rope or a thicker and a thinner one. If you've got a thinner one, use that one for this. But we're going to go and make a loop, and we're going to wrap the thinner one around the big one's loop, and then we're going to just pull it through its own loop, and then pull that tight. We're going to pull both ends tight. And now we have a rope that is not going to come easily undone unless you try to get up close and do it, and then it'll come fairly easily. But even if you were to say push the 2 ropes together from each end, you wouldn't be able to untie it. You'd have to actually take the time to untie it. And with all these things, you are going to need practice. But once you get it down, it should be fairly simple. Let's see this one more time. We are going to put it through the loop and around. We're going to make a little loop, and then we're going to stick it through it. You see? We're going to make a little loop, and then we just pull the little guy right through it. And we just pull it tight. And we now have our knot. This will hold fairly well, and you shouldn't have any problem with that untying. But the next knot is an end knot, which we can use in shipping and ships. You will want to use this on your anchor. You don't want a slip knot because it would be nearly impossible to untie a slip knot after you're putting it on an anchor. So first, we start by making a loop. I'm going to lay that on top. Then we're going to come up from underneath the loop and come inside of it. Then we are going to wrap underneath the end of the rope, and then we're going to come back out through the loop, and then we're going to pull tight on both the big loop and the end of the string, end of the rope. And now we have a loop, and this is not a slip knot, so it won't come undone. And this is one of the best knots out there for boating. This is going to be really useful. This is a knot that there's so many purposes for that you could literally look on any boat and find. But here's another description. If you were on a or if you were on a cliff and someone tried to get you with a helicopter, you could use this method to make yourself a seat that wouldn't slip knot and wouldn't tighten up on you. Here's how I did it. I slowly took that and I pulled it through, and I wrapped it around here. You'll see. And I pulled through there, and you pull it straight. It's a little bit hard to see in this one, but let's redo it. We take it slow, we wrap it, we go over, we stick our entire hand through and make a loop out of the one that's around our waist. We've still got the short one in our hand. We wrap the short one around the long one, and then pull it through the loop that's around our wrist. We then pull the entire thing tight, and now you can sit on your rope. That's all. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.